When it comes to hobbies, everyone has their favorites, whether it's stamp collecting or participating in backyard MMA tournaments. But for those who create their own niche hobbies, magnet fishing has truly hooked onto something extraordinary. They've reinvented the classic pastime of fishing by replacing hooks and bait with giant magnets, all in the quest for hidden treasures. And once you see the incredible items they've pulled from muddy riverbeds, ranging from murder weapons and jewels to Nazi gold and rare antiques, you'll understand why this hobby is making waves. Here are some of the luckiest finds ever made by magnet fishers. 2 guys, 1 magnet. The Window Boys are renowned among magnet fishers. The reason is simple enough. They're committed anglers and are always on the hunt for something shiny on the riverbeds of the UK. One cloudy morning, these guys went on a treasure hunt on the River Soar in Leicester and quickly found 2 stolen safes from a recent robbery. One had the door knocked out and was empty, while the other, stolen from a charity shop, was still intact. Rather than keep it for themselves, the brothers handed it in to the police for use in their investigation. Hoard of Cash and Nazi coins. What do you do when you unearth a box full of stolen money, cash registers, and antique coins? Michael Bradley and Ashley Johnson from Stockport were magnet fishing in a local river when they chanced upon a box stuffed with over 100 pounds in stolen cash. It looks like they found the spot where criminals had been dumping their ill-gotten gains, maybe to retrieve later or just to get rid of before the police showed up. On other trips, they found silverware, jewelry, and even some rare Nazi coins from Second World War. Most of the time, the police aren't interested, so finders keepers, I guess. Samurai sword in Manchester. This magnet fisher was over the moon when he caught this fearsome-looking sword with his 1,000-pound magnet. Samurai swords are the traditional weapons of Japanese military nobility, made with great craftsmanship and designed to strike fear into their enemies. But it's still a mystery how one found itself in a river in northern England, a place where knives of that length are illegal and punishable by strict fines. Sure, it could have been from a gang of Mancunian samurais battling it out on the back streets, but it's more likely this was a suspect weapon that someone was in a rush to get rid of. An antique revolver. On only their second magnet fishing adventure, 2 friends lifted an ancient-looking revolver from the watery depths in Stephenson, Washington state. This model is dated to the late 1800s, so it must have been waiting for that magnet for some time. The gun is an interesting historical find, and the guys were understandably excited. If verified as a genuine firearm, it could be worth several $100s. A ticket machine. 2 enthusiastic magnet fishermen had a big shock when they heaved up a ticket machine from a canal that runs through Middleton, England. What looks like a treasure chest turned out to be an ancient ticketing machine from a train station. These things can be surprisingly valuable for collectors, so hopefully, it's worth the trouble of lifting this thing out of the river. Rusty Uze. Finding an old submachine gun in a London park isn't your usual lucky find. As you might be aware, guns in the British capital don't get along very well. Uses are completely illegal in the UK, so whoever threw this in the river has some serious questions to answer. Crime is the only explanation for this discovery. I wonder if the police let this magnet fisher keep it for his mantelpiece. Lucas Silver King bicycle lamp. This woman was hopeful when she found a unique shimmering object during a magnet fishing trip to the historic River Thames. The reality was more interesting. As well as a range of historical artifacts like pens, coins, and pottery, she also found what looked like an old lamp. It turned out to be a 1920s acetylene carbide bicycle lamp and a valuable antique. It's worth a few $100s to a collector. A grenade. Resting away beneath the deep, murky waters, there were some crowbars, a broken lock, and a grenade, all just waiting to be found by a pair of young friends. Now, this find is lucky because the grenade turned out to be deactivated. Decaying explosive materials stay dangerous for many years, so a live one could have easily gone off in their hands, a price no amount of rusty crowbars is worth. ATM Machine. Finding a giant rusted ATM in a lake might not sound too impressive, but this catch has an interesting backstory. This cash machine, discovered by Reddit user Atacan in Texas, is rumored to be one of 6 missing ATMs that were stolen in a heist a few years back. The police never found the other machines, and the main suspect got off pretty lightly as a result. He never confessed to the whereabouts of the other devices either, and some say he'll go straight back to cash it in when he's released. So, this rusty old ATM could be a crucial piece of evidence in cracking a serious criminal investigation. A motorcycle. This man had a fun-filled day magnet fishing with his family. He pulled out coins, tools, surgical instruments, and a stolen handbag filled with stones. Clearly something is going on here. Even weirder was he saw a dark shape in the water with 2 magnets and sheer strength. He managed to haul out an entire motorbike. But what was it doing in there? It could have been an accident or, more likely, stolen. Either way, it'll need a bit of work before it hits the road again. Cannonballs. It's not every day you come across a cannonball. Gigmaster, a seasoned magnet fisher, stumbled across the remains of not just 1 but 2 solid cannonballs dated back to the American Civil War. The large metal casings were state-of-the-art naval technology in their day, designed to shatter on impact and spray out the deadly buckshot encased inside. This find could be the remains of a Civil War naval battle, and the broken casings found nearby still contain sludgy black material, partly made of gunpowder. A drug farm. Finding evidence of criminal activities seems to be a common theme in magnet fishing, but usually the discoveries are underwater. Not so this time, when an unproductive fishing trip accidentally led a group of fishers to a hidden clearing in the woods filled with cannabis plants. Thankfully, they realized what was going on and made their escape before the owners came back. That would have been an awkward meeting. A criminal dumping ground. When father of 3, Douglas Simcock, took his kids magnet fishing, he expected it would be a nice, quiet day out in the English countryside. Little did he know that he'd soon pull up a bag filled with weapons, weighted down with bricks, and clearly not intended to be found. The hidden weapons cache contained a pump-action shotgun, 2 handguns, and ammo, all wrapped up and sealed. Clearly, whoever hid these guns meant business, and in the UK, crime doesn't get much more serious. Was this the disposal of evidence after a murder or covert preparation for an act of terrorism? Her Majesty's Constabulary are hot on the case. A safe full of jewelry and watches. Adam Hastings, a 22-year-old, tried out magnet fishing for the very first time in his life in a lake at Pittville Park. Soon, he felt a clang as his magnet made contact with something big underwater. As he hauled the beast out of the depths, he realized it was a safe from yet another robbery. Adam even found another large magnet in the water, confirming his suspicions. It seems the robbers went back to the dumping spot in the hope of retrieving their stolen safe, but it failed miserably, leaving their magnet in the mud. Inside the safe were watches, military medals, and jewelry. Many of the items were worth hundreds of pounds, but Adam has decided instead to try and reunite the safe with its rightful owner. 3,000 bullets. Lee and his parents went magnet fishing near an army base in the UK. The little girl stumbled upon a few steel-tipped bullets. A few is probably an understatement. In total, little Leah found 3,000 over the course of 3 trips. The stunned parents reported their bizarre discovery to the police, who weren't concerned at first. But once they saw how many she found, they quickly pointed the blame at the nearby army base for irresponsible handling of dangerous munitions. As for the little girl, she's proudly still out there looking for more. A shiny necklace. Our next magnet angler was ecstatic to find this shimmering piece of jewelry hidden in the mud of a river. Is it amber and silver, perhaps? Unfortunately not. This necklace turned out to be just a piece of cheap staged jewelry. But it would still make a nice gift for his girlfriend, if he has one. As a magnet fisher, though, I don't think that's likely. Pepper spray can. Reddit user Good Guy Doug found a can of tear gas during his magnet fishing trip. He called the police as he didn't want it to go off by accident and blind everyone in a 50-yard radius. You did the right thing, Good Guy Doug. Good guy by name, good guy by nature. 1850s medieval dagger. One day, Redditor Just 361 was magnet fishing in a sewer near Landmerkelbruggen. From beneath several feet of disgusting, brackish water, he pulled out a medieval dagger with an intact wooden handle. He was over the moon to find this antique sword. Unfortunately, the online magnet fishing community burst his bubble and told the excited German that it wasn't a real medieval dagger. One of those would never survive that long in a sewer. It's actually a more modern replica, but not too modern. It's still about 150 years old. Act 47. If you find a murder weapon on your second trip magnet fishing, I think you can safely say you're a natural. And that's exactly what one off-duty technician found on a trip to his local river. He discovered an undamaged AK-47 that was filled with mud but otherwise in pretty good condition. The scariest part, the serial number had been suspiciously scratched out. It was chambered and the safety was off. Now, if there's one gun that would come out of the mud still firing shots, it's an AK. Needless to say, the cops were very interested in this particular find. Stolen metals. One day, a Reddit user named Robot Octopus pulled a safe out of a canal during a magnet fishing trip. Inside, he found metals, some batteries, passport photos, and a child's savings book. Sensing that these items might hold sentimental value, he set out to track down the owner. With only the initials and surname to go on, he managed to find the owner's daughter on Facebook by recognizing her photo. After reaching out, he discovered that the safe had been stolen just 3 weeks earlier during a burglary. The magnet-wielding Samaritan returned the metals to their rightful owner, earning some well-deserved karma for his good deed. So, do you go magnet fishing, or are you tempted to give it a try after seeing all the treasures you could uncover? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.